Hi guys. I think I got this going. There we go. um, so I had a bunch of people tell me that they really enjoyed the video yesterday, so I thought I would pop in again today since the grandson is down sleeping and I'm available and it's all good. And I also wanted to tell you that there were a bunch of good things going on at the state level. A lot of the people that I know, especially in the Jaffrey area, are small business owners. And I know you guys because I um, I work really hard at supporting you by eating at your restaurants and hanging out and doing things because that's just the right thing to do. Um, and so I can't do that right now because we're socially isolating, and that's important. So I wanted to let you know about some of the resources. First off, regardless of your politics, and this is not a politics conversation, okay? I will gladly debate politics when we come out the other side of this. I am very political. I have opinions and they're strong, and that's all good. Now is not the time for them. And so I'm just not going to talk politics because it's just right now is not the right time. What I'm trying to do is support people, and that means that I can't go there, and I'm not going to do it. So Governor Sununu gave out 3 emergency orders this morning or late last night. Emergency orders saying that all providers of electric, gas, water, telephone, cable, VoIP, internet service, and deliverable fuel services are prohibited from disconnecting or discontinuing service for non-payments. Landlords are not allowed to start eviction proceedings for those unable to pay due to financial situations. It's not that you won't necessarily be evicted if you don't pay, but it's just not going to happen during this. And individuals who are unable to work or have reduced hours due to the pandemic will have, and note this, immediate access to unemployment benefits. So there's a whole bunch of things about it, and you can go and look it up. It's www.nhes.nh.gov. And if you look it up, I'm sure it's all over the internet, so you can go and look it up. But that's so if you're a small business owner, if you are a server at a restaurant and you don't have a job anymore because all the restaurants are closed, or if you work at a bar or any of that, please go and check it out. I understand from a couple of people who've been trying to apply that the website is crashing a bit, and that's because there are so many people who are trying to get in right now. I know it's really hard, and I know everybody's a little panicky, but it's going to go through. Just keep trying, and it's going to be okay. Okay. We're going to get through this. Most of you, like I said, we're all small town people. We live in Jaffrey or Ringe, and we're in this area, and we support each other. And I have been so proud of my neighbors. Everybody's been standing up and doing what they need to do, offering to help while maintaining that social distance, which we really need to do. I'm heartened by the number of people who have done some really amazing things. Dollar General now has 2 hours in the morning, which is dedicated to those who are over 60 going shopping, because sometimes you don't want to be in a store with a bunch of screaming kids, which is understandable, and also because it's early in the morning so that they get the first chance to get in and get things. But I'm also a little disturbed because I know a number of people right now who are in the 30 to 50 age range who are poo-pooing this. So I'm going to explain this really, really bluntly. Everything's going to get shut down whether you want it to or not. So that part is not up for debate. Governors, president, people are just shutting stuff down. So you can't stop that. So you can just be grumpy about it, or you can deal with it. The most negative outcome of this is that we all live through it and not a lot of people get sick. And there's some financial backlash, which we're all going to pull together to get out of. Okay? The other side of that is that everybody gets sick, really sick at the same time. And people who need emergency surgery because their kid broke their leg, or because you have COPD and you can't breathe, or because your kidneys failed, or you got shot or whatever are not going to get the help that they need. So please maintain the social distance. I know it's really hard for a lot of people. I wish I could say I understand, because I don't, because I live in my kind of little bubble and I can do people-y things. I do the Ren fairs and I dress up and I'm very public and outgoing. But I'm just as equally comfortable being here at home alone. So this is not stressful for me. This is kind of my comfort zone. But I know that there are an awful lot of people who are stressed by this. And just because I'm comfortable doesn't mean that you should be. Okay? You're uncomfortable, own it. Please don't try and push away the fact that you're uncomfortable or nervous or scared. Just don't be panicky. Okay? Before you get to the panic stage, reach out and we're going to help, because that's what you do. So what else do we have in the Jaffrey things here? ABC Mouse is offering a free membership while the schools are closed. There's a code for it in the Jaffrey Range Resources group on Facebook. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. People are asking, please limit getting paper products, hand sanitizer, and wipes, a limit of 3 per customer. And honestly, if it's just you and your spouse, can we limit it to 1? I have a family of 6 right now, so, we have a lot of people. So when I buy 2 and I double check to make sure there's some in the back before I purchase it, that's what you do. So I went shopping yesterday morning because I had to. I know better than to think that I can't touch my face, because I can't. I can't go 5 minutes without pushing my glasses up. I already know that. I'm not even fighting it. So I'm doing the Muslim thing. One hand for touching things and one hand for touching me. So my right hand is for pushing the cart, putting things in the cart, looking at things on the shelves. This hand doesn't ever touch my face. This hand I can use to touch my face, answer my phone, all of those things which are not contaminated. Okay? And people were very polite at Market Basket. Everybody kept their space. There was no pushing and shoving. It was wonderful. Just a note, yesterday morning, I said thank you to one of the ladies at Market Basket, because she looked really harried. She was putting cans on a shelf. And I said, thank you so much for being here and doing this and making it so that I can come and get some food. It's such a relief to know you guys are on the job. And she burst into these heartrending sobs, okay? Because she'd been there since 6 o'clock in the morning. She'd been working her ass off nonstop. She hadn't had time to pee or take a break, okay? Just stocking shelves. And that's not her normal job, okay? It isn't that people were being rude to her, but when you go in and you say, is there any toilet paper? And the answer is no, don't take it out on the workers, okay? I know we're frustrated. God knows we ran down. Normally I have lots of toilet paper and I didn't buy one in between 1 week because I forgot to put it on the list. And I was just like, yeah, it's not going to make a difference. Well, it did make a difference this time. I needed to go and buy a pack. And it was scary thinking that I wouldn't have it. But you know what? I have lots and lots of dead sheets. I can make it if I have to. I know how to use a spritz bottle. We'll survive. Okay. People survived without toilet paper for thousands and thousands and thousands of years before it was invented in the late 1800s, folks. Okay. We're not going to die, but it's not the stock girl's fault. It's not the cashier's fault. Okay. And it's like I said, it's not that anybody was attacking her. I didn't get the sense that people were being jerks or anything. It was just that frustration level that comes up in people's voices. Well, why isn't there any toilet paper? Well, there's no toilet paper because there's a few people who are really, really scared. And it's really easy to say, well, they're twat waffles. And okay, at some level, probably quite a lot of them are. But some of them might be large families who live right on the edge, and they're now being told instead of buying a week's worth of stuff, you need to have 8 weeks worth of stuff. And they're going, oh my God, what do I do? Okay. We have not brought up a generation of people who know how to prepare for this kind of thing. And people are scared. That doesn't make it right. Okay. And I'm not saying that you should excuse people who are being douches, but it happens. Please understand that everybody is scared. Everybody is stressed. There is nobody wandering around right now in Jaffrey or Ringe or in New Hampshire or anywhere else in the States who is blissfully unaware and not giving a shit. Okay? Everybody is stressed about this, and people take out that stress in different ways. It's okay to be stressed. It's life. There are little things you can do. I got in contact with my pharmacy today and I ordered my next month's medications. Usually they don't let me do it this early because I have to wait until it's like right beforehand. But because they're anticipating people coming in for medications and stuff later, they were like, yeah, please come in and do it right now because that would be handy. It means that later when we're getting slammed, we don't have to try and fill prescriptions that aren't vitally necessary. So if you can afford to do that, or if you're covered by your insurance and stuff, a lot of insurances are letting you get a 90-day supply right now because it means that you're not in making things worse later. So go ask, okay? Don't say no for other people. Go and check. The other thing is remember that restaurants and bars and things like that are all closed right now. The Legion is closed. It's serious, guys. It's St. Patty's Day and the Legion is closed. But that doesn't mean that there isn't food available. So first off, there are a number of places, especially in Jaffrey and Ringe, I know about, that are making food for people who need it. Please don't feel embarrassed about that, okay? If you need it, you need it. I've been there. I've been homeless and I've been hungry and I know how it feels. And you know what? You might want to buck up most of the time. Don't do that right now. Stress about other things that are more important. There's food available right now. Take advantage of it while you can. Okay. If you need to apply for an assistance, please do that now. There are people who are offering to go out and do grocery shopping. Oh, sorry. And get groceries and things like that. Also, Roy's Market in Peterborough does credit card payments over the phone. They bag the food, and then a Monadnock at home volunteer will pick them up and deliver them to your door. So there's like all sorts of people are coming together and doing stuff. And our favorite restaurants, not all of them have shut down, okay? Some of them are doing takeout food. So if you have a yen for Chinese, go and, I don't know if the Golden Walk is open, but you can call them and find out if you can do a pickup, okay? You can check, I know that the Lab and Lager has food that they're selling. You don't stay in the restaurant, you go in, you pick it up, you leave. But you can still order out. And not only does that help you, because it gives you a night when you don't have to cook, especially if you're not, like I cook all the time, so it's not stressful for me. If you're the type of person who doesn't cook every night, I can see where that would be like a sudden time sink that you weren't prepared for. You'll be supporting them as well as, okay? I know Sunflowers has food that they're putting out, and Cafe 532 in near the Jaffrey Dump has stuff. I know that the United Church is open on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7:30. And they said, if anybody needs food, please come. No registration required. We are here to help. That's the United Church in Jaffrey. Okay. Please take advantage of the things that are available, because if you can lower your stress right now, it makes it easier to deal with things as we go along. Okay. And that's really important. One of the things I'm doing is looking at some of the really positive stuff that's on the internet. That's helping me. Looking at the clean water in the canals in Venice made my heart swell. Seeing some of the pictures from the space station where the smog has gone down so tremendously in the last 2 weeks that places are green again. I'm like, oh my gosh, positive things are happening, even if they're not immediate in your face things. And the other thing is that it's spring. I know it doesn't seem like that right now because there was snow this morning, but it's getting warmer. And, we just need to hold on, and green things are going to come up. I did want to talk about the idea of gardening. If this lingers on for a while, I know I'm going to have extra time on my hands because I won't be doing Ren fairs. And if that's the case, I'm going to plant my gardens again. And you can do that too. Even if you live in an apartment, if you have a sunny window, you can grow radishes. You can grow lettuce, If if you're in a house and you have even a small yard, you can do a container garden. You can do a small backyard garden if you have a backyard of any kind. If you want, I will do like a little video on how to germinate seeds and stuff. There are some really easy ones out there that are tasty. And I have found, especially when you're dealing with kids being at home who normally aren't, involving them in growing food makes them more willing to eat it. And in fact, sometimes you'll find them standing outside looking adoringly at the plants, eating things off of them that you would never find them willing. If you were in a grocery store, they would be going, I'm not going to eat that. So think about that. I happen to have a lot of Egyptian walking onions right now, which are these amazing little, so they're onions, but they're like little onions, kind of like scallions. And they grow up really tall. And then at the top, they form this bulb that looks like an inside out piece of garlic. And that gets to a point where it's so heavy that it falls over. And then those things each turn into another plant and it grows up. So I started with 3 of these tiny little bulbs. They're the size of a clove of garlic, okay? And I planted those in my great big, I have one of those big tractor tires. And so I have that filled with dirt. And I planted them in there 3 years ago, 3 of them. This year, I am so overwhelmed with the number of these onions. I have to pull a whole bunch of them. So if you would like some Egyptian walking onions, page me and I'll find out a way to get them to you. I have no problems sharing. They're pretty good. The little top bulbs taste kind of like a really mild mix between onion and garlic and can be used the same way you would use a clove of garlic. The green stems can be used the same way you use green onions until they get really big, and then they're a little on the woody side. Then they're okay to be flavoring in stew, but I wouldn't eat them. Think of them like the onion version of bay leaf. And you can also pull the whole plant up when you get to the point that I'm at. And at the bottom, there's kind of a medium-sized onion there, and it's just like any other onion, and it's quite tasty. You just leave it. It comes back every spring. It spreads itself. It grows like crazy. And like I said, you can go from having 1 to having dozens in a year. So if you want some, let me know. I have some up for grabs, and I would love to share them with you. And I'm probably going to plant some green beans and some radishes and maybe some lettuce because I like those things. I still have my farm share. But, we're going to try and if we're going to be distant and I have nothing better to do with my time, I mean, not that I don't always have something better to do with my time, but I can do the gardening on the weekends and I can do the gardening with the grandkid, and it gets me outside where the sunshine is and the fresh air. And those are all good things, really good things. So consider doing that, okay? And like I said, if you need to know gardening tips, come talk to me. And same with cooking. If you guys want cooking tips, I will gladly go over cooking stuff. I can teach anyone to cook, okay? I cook peasant food. There's nothing complex about it at all. It's all really simple stuff, and it's easy. And honestly, a lot of it utilizes canned goods and pastas and dry foods. So it's really simple. It goes together really fast. It's tasty, nutritious, and you can make it with what's on the shelves right now. Let's see, what else do we have? WMUR has a meteorology course that they're doing free online, and live chats with the meteorologist Haley LaPointe, who's the WMUR meteorologist. So if your kid has an interest in meteorology at all, or they were doing their weather unit at school, I think the grade 5s are doing their weather unit right now. That's a great way to get them involved in doing stuff, and they can be outside doing this stuff and learning and having fun. What else do we have? There's a blood drive in Peterborough, although I don't know how they're going to do that. I think they're scheduling appointments as opposed to having walk-ins. So please consider that and take care of it. But remember, if you've had surgeries or tattoos in the last 12 months, you can't donate. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Mostly just a lot of people talking about how stressed they are. So, like I said, it's okay to be stressed. don't try and push the fact that you are away, because that doesn't help anybody. And for the love of all that's holy, please don't hide the fact that you're stressed from your kids. Okay. First off, it's not effective. Your kids know you're stressed, period. End of story. It doesn't matter whether your kid is 2 or 50. They're going to know you are stressed. And second, especially with teenagers and tweens, they'll know you're stressed, but they won't necessarily know why. And their minds will invent the absolute worst possible scenario. If you're honest with them and you talk to them at an age appropriate level, and let them know, yeah, mom and dad are nervous or are worried, that's going to help them, because they get to see a healthy response to stress, and they get to see that mom and dad aren't perfect, which means that if you do at some point end up in a crying jag like I did on Thursday last week, they understand, and they can either take a deep breath and give you a hug, which helps a remarkable amount, or retreat a little bit and let you have your space to get your shit together so that you can continue on. Homeschooling. So you guys know I homeschool the twins. And I mean, I don't, VLAX does, but I oversee it. And our kids are used to this. So it's this, like I said, this is just what daily life is like for us. There's no real stress about it. But next week, a lot of you out there will be experiencing this for the very first time with remote lessons and all the rest. It's not as difficult as some people might make out. Okay, that's the first thing I want to tell you. Yes, there's going to be an adjustment period. Yes, you are going to be lacking in some of the privacy that you probably have had up until now. No, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Reach out and talk to me. I will happily share about homeschooling and stuff. Remote schooling is not a bad thing. Your kids will get a chance to shine and grow and learn new things. And honestly, if they're ahead, they can get all their schoolwork done in a few hours, and then they have the rest of the day to play, which they totally didn't when they were forced to go to the public school. Okay? There are positives to all of this stuff. Keep looking for the sunshine. It's there, I promise. Okay? It might not feel like it sometimes, but it's there. And just before I log out, I wanted to talk. I had a friend who contacted me and was frustrated because they had a bunch of stuff to do on a whitewash, which is cold water wash, and how they don't want to do that because cold water doesn't kill viruses. What if they had COVID-19 on their clothes? So I want to explain about soap. So we're used to using soap to wash our hands, and we watch the dirt come off. And I don't know if any of you have seen, you can take like a little plate of water and sprinkle some pepper over the top and have the kids stick a finger in, and then you pick it up and you can see that the finger gets pepper all over it. But if you put a squirt of liquid soap on and put it in, the pepper all runs away. That's what soap does to germs, okay? So when you wash your hands, you're breaking down the molecular structure of the virus. There's reasons why we can't just ingest soap, by the way. So if you're thinking that, please don't go there. It will do bad things to your insides. And the virus isn't in your mouth and your stomach. The virus is in your lungs. And if you inhale soap, you will drown. So please don't do that. But on your hands, it will kill the virus. On your face, it will kill the virus. On packages and counters, if you wipe them down with soap or bleach wipes, it will kill the virus. But what about your clothes? Well, if you're using if you have a high efficiency washer, which I think most of us do at this point, and you're using a high efficiency washing fluid like Tide, or I use Tide Free and Clear, or Arm & Hammer. Both of those have soap in them, which will break down the RNA or DNA or whatever it is of the virus. It kills it. Okay. If you're using an old-fashioned washer and you're using the sudsy soap, you know it's killing it, because suds is what we think of. Suds doesn't necessarily mean clean, but in this case, if you see suds, it will absolutely break down the virus. If you don't see suds, it may break down the virus. So some of you have talked about how there wasn't soap at the grocery stores. One of the things that I've noticed is still at grocery stores is the Dr. Bronner's Castile soap in liquid form. And that stuff is not high lather, but it is very good about it will kill the virus. So please don't panic. Yes, your cold water wash will work. And now I'm going to say goodbye because I want to go say goodbye to people who are getting offline. So I hope you guys have a good day. All right. And I'll try and check in again tomorrow. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a train. I love you guys. Bye.